Dudes, I'm Charles Band, and welcome to our vidcast of September 3rd, 2015. I'm excited because we finally got in, after waiting forever, our awesome Jack Attack resin statues. We also got in the creepy Baby Oopsie replicas and some more six-shooters and blades, which have been out of stock for a long time. You know, I know it's frustrating. Some of you guys have ordered these materials. Sometimes you have to wait. And part of the problem is they're not those little action figures from years ago that pop out of a machine and they're already all ready to roll and they get slammed in the blister pack. You know, the resin statues are all hand painted, and the replicas, the 1-to-1 scale replicas, are, you know, hand sewn and stitched, and these things take a while. So what happens, Full Moon, 90% of what we do is devoted to making movies, and we try to do this stuff for the fans. Most of these are only sold online. And what happens is we get enough orders, we go, okay, now we can make 100 more blades, and then it takes a few months to make those blades. So we're trying to get better at this, so sorry for the delays, but at the end of the day, I think the items look pretty cool. So excited that all of these things came in, and I'm super excited that yesterday we premiered, and it's on right now, Kings of Cult, which sounds like a very boastful title, but I guess Roger Corman and I have made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movies. And I've always wanted to do something with Roger and either make a movie together, which we may still do, or at least do something where we're side by side talking about our careers. And it was great to do this show with him. Just about a month ago, we showed up at his fantastic headquarters, and we went down to a room, and we had 3 cameras and a whole bunch of people. And Roger and I just sat and talked about sort of the experience over so many years of making all these movies, going back to, in his case, I guess, the 50s. In my case, more like the 70s. But I think you'll find it enjoyable. All I know is I sat down with Roger, we started talking. A lot of the questions were fan questions. And the hour went by and it felt like 5 minutes. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's only on Full Moon streaming right now, so hopefully you'll go check it out. If you're not a member, please subscribe. I say it all the time, it's our future. More and more of the world's going into the digital zone. There's no more video rental stores, so that makes it hard if you're used to going down to your local store and renting the more recent Full Moon movie. And speaking of movies, we've got a whole slew we're finally making. This was a tough year, a year of transition, trying to figure out how do we make movies again when there's really no money at the end of the day. At the end of the day, a few years ago, we would ship to Blockbuster in Hollywood and all the rental stores, and some money would come back and we'd make the next movie. Today, there's really none of that. You put it out on Hulu or on your streaming site and you get pennies. There's no real money. So the whole scene is flipped around to where we have to find ways to bring money in to make the movies, knowing that once they're finished, people will enjoy them, but there's no real return. So what we're doing is a combination of crowdfunding, and as you probably know, we're in the middle of our Indiegogo campaign for the next 2 movies we're shooting. We're shooting them literally next month: Evil Bong High Five, and Killjoy Psycho Circus. We're about halfway to our goal, which is awesome, considering we're about 6 weeks or so is the whole campaign, and we're about 3.5 weeks into it. So for all of you who've already contributed and helped, thank you. It's one way that we're going to be able to make movies again, and I think a lot of the tiers and rewards are very, very cool, especially the ones where we actually will write in a substantial role, a supporting role in one of these 2 movies. Now, Killjoy Psycho Circus is gone. We can only do it for a few people, and those are taken. There's still a couple slots left for Evil Bong High Five. If you can afford it, we'll fly out here and we'll put you in the movie. This is more than a walk-on. This is a role with some dialogue and being in 2 or 3 scenes. The other thing we're doing, which no one knows about till right now, is we've invented a way to put some product placement in these films where, first, the price is super affordable. No matter what, we're in front of millions of eyeballs because all these movies have a home. We're not looking for distribution. So as soon as the pictures are done, they're going to be on Hulu, which has 10 million people. They're going to be on Amazon Prime, of course, Full Moon Streaming, and a whole bunch of other sites, plus DVD and Blu-ray. So the whole idea of product placement is not just, let's just say you have some gimmick or some item or some, whatever it is, you're marketing something. It's not just putting the item in the movie. It's actually, we're going to write the scene and sort of, help embed your item in a much more meaningful way. So we did this for one company when we made Evil Bong 420. For those of you who've seen Evil Bong 420, which a lot of people think it's like Full Moon's Little Shop of Horrors, but there's a scene in there where these two stoners come up to the rabbit character on the counter, and he's got this uber mega bomb. And it was actually a product placement deal because the people who make it, they're called Smoke Cartel, and they make tons and tons of bongs and other paraphernalia. And for very little money, they had us put their bong, write it into the scene, which we did, and it plays well. It did well for them because a lot of people saw Evil Bong 420, and we picked up a few dollars, which helped us make the movie. So in the future, next year, we're planning to make 10 movies, which is very ambitious. In the future, it's going to be a combination of crowdfunding, product placement or sponsorship or embedding your product in our movies. And if you're interested in that, you should write to info@fullmoonfeatures.com. That's info, I-N-F-O, at fullmoonfeatures.com. And then we'll get back to explain how the product placement thing works. So ambitious when it comes to movies. We tried to figure out a way to how to make them again. Because again, in the old days, you would make a movie and release it on video and all the other markets and make a little money and make your next movie. Well, those old days it's like the record business, long gone. So ironically, at the end of the day, you have a movie. Yes, people see it on Hulu and streaming and DVD, but the return is way tiny and not enough to make your next movie. So we're trying to find ways to get sponsors, do the crowdfunding deal, and do this product placement thing, which is really awesome. It works well. The price of admission is very little, so it's not some scary number. And I think that's going to help us make a program of 10 movies next year. And the last thing I want to let you know, since I know there are a lot of Puppet Master fans out there, I think we're going to make, I hope at least, we always intend to make our best Puppet Master ever. It's the very next film we're shooting after Killjoy Psycho Circus and Evil Bong High Five. So we're going to shoot it either January or February. It's called Puppet Master Axis Termination. It's the end of the Axis series. We had Axis of Evil and Axis Rising. This sort of ends that trilogy, and it's a very edgy, very hard script. It's a departure. It's much more like the, let's say, Puppet Master 3, that kind of vibe, that kind of blood, and I think it's going to be a real good one. We got a lot of good feedback from fans over the last few years about our last two Puppet Master films. And I think the script is going to be terrific, and we'll deliver one that you guys will like. And of course, there's Puppet Master comic books that have done real well through Action Labs. We keep doing our replicas and our resin statues, and we're dedicated to just trying to continue to make movies and have fun and build up Full Moon streaming and make you guys happy. So that's kind of it. I'm going to try to do these more frequently. I always say that, and then you blink and you get busy and 3 months go by. But thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Ciao.